Om Shri Sai Ram. Welcome to the center, Arcadia Center, and wish you all a happy and holy new year. Um, for the past 3 weeks, we have been, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I think. We did three letters which were sent out by the scriptural committee on the occasion of the Swami's birthday. It's a study guide on inherent divinity, realizing our inherent divinity, just to know our identity. And we did three letters. First letter was we talked about the importance of the name. The ecstasy of God's name is the real fulfillment of life. So discussed that, and then the next one we discussed was become like the flute. The third one is when I am residing in your hearts, how can you be far from me? Just a few points that we discussed before what Swami told. The God's name first. We started the letter saying we were not we're not following just that we say one thing and we do another thing. So we're not following the values, many of us. That's what Swami is saying. And then said, for all those things, the root cause is the desires. So how to get rid of the desires? The best way is to chant the holy name. And if you go on chanting, then we will realize. I mean, we have that nama ruchi, the ecstasy, the bliss that you will get, and then the desires will fall off, and then it can the name itself can take us to enlightenment. That is the first letter we discussed in detail. Second one, become like a flute. And it's basically ego and attachment. That's what we have to eliminate. So Swami gave a very good example of we are all actors here, and there is a director, and one director is that is Swami. So according to the director's instructions, we just need to act. We cannot become directors ourselves because we have to obey what Swami is saying. So why we don't do it? It's because the ego and attachment. So if you don't have that ego and attachment, then then we will do exactly what the director is saying. So Swami gives two examples. One is the flute, another one is the sandals or chapels. How the sandals, we even our whole weight is on it, and then it can go on thorns and everything. So the main thing Swami talked about is the patience, forbearance that we need to have, because the ego doesn't go away unless you have those two beautiful qualities, forbearance and the patience. So that's what Swami gave both examples. The flute is straight and it's hollow and it's empty. So like that, you don't have the ego, then we are following according to the director's instructions. Then we will be liberated while we are alive. So that's about the second letter. And the third letter is a letter that he wrote to Subhamagaru. It is an occasion, I think, Subhamagaru's son's marriage. Swami is writing a nice letter blessing the couple and beautiful. Then the final paragraph, Swami is very beautifully saying, I will not forget you. I'll never forget, because neither I will be able to forget you, because I cannot forget you because I reside in your heart. Swami, our God is Hridaya Nivasi. So we discussed that on so detail. Hridaya, how Swami, as an example, talked about Draupadi as well. How he called out to the Lord, Hridaya Nivasa, and then Swami immediately gave the saris to her when she needed it. So those are the three letters we discussed. So we are going to discuss the letter 4 now. It starts with blessings to you.
Sairam. The fourth letter. Sorry, let me get my.
If there's anything else I missed, please
No.
go ahead and add.
Um,
Go ahead.
so the fourth letter says, "You are the substance, not the shadow." And it's dated July 16th, 1965. My dear Charles, blessings to you and to all the Sadhaka friends of yours, Bob, Mrs. Bob, and others. Carry on with steady faith, the spiritual discipline. Do not hurry or expect too quick results. Slow maturing makes the fruit sweeter. Remember, you are but an instrument in the hands of the Lord. But you are not Jada or inert. You have intelligence, discrimination, and the power to detach yourself from the world. These three are called Viveka, Vichakshana, and Vairagyam. The more you develop these better instruments you will be. Intelligence must be able to subdue the senses. Discrimination must show the path to attain the eternal and the absolute. Vairagyam must attach you only to the higher goals. When a person walks along the road, his shadow falls on the heaps and hollows, the thorns and dirt that happen to be by the side of the road. But he is not affected by what happens to his shadow. You are the substance, not the shadow. You are the divine spark that is encased in the body, not the body. Imagine a palm tree standing on the ground. Its shadow stretches along the ground. The shadow is the world, the tree is the reality. Climb the tree and reach the fruits on top. Your shadow too reaches the shadow fruits. That is to say, do sadhana and attain its goal. You will thereby attain worldly happiness and peace also. If you lift the hand to serve, to help, to console, to encourage another man, you are lifting it for God. Because in every man there is God. The body is the temple of the individual soul. The world is the temple of the universal soul. Use all your talents for serving others. That is the best way of serving yourself. For they and you are one entity. The time is fast approaching when all your yearning will bear fruit. I do not belong to any particular place. I have come for the whole world. All men are mine. The hospital has my blessings wherever it is built. The book will be sent to you with the meanings of non-English words, also photos. With blessings, Sri Sathya Sai Baba. So the first question here, what form of spiritual disciplines do you find most natural and sustainable over time so that you can persist with steady faith and without hurry as you slowly and sweetly mature?
Open for discussion. What form of spiritual disciplines find most natural, sustainable over time? I think each individual has to choose for what they like and what they could sustain with. Somebody can take the name of the Lord, somebody can take Gayatri, somebody can, no, I cannot sit in a corner and do all these things. I want to go and do service all over. Each sadhana is, each one has their own path that each one will take up something. But most important is Shraddha. That sadhana means we have to have the Shraddha. Without the Shraddha, then there's no point. Whatever we take, we should do it sincerely. Swami says, start early, drive slowly, and reach safely. That tells the message here very clearly that we don't need to do like some people immediately. Sometimes what happens is I've seen even in the Sai organizations when I was, when I was little, so many people join immediately. They'll come to everything, and some after some point they get burnt out, and after that, and we can see that then that possibly they got it's not sustainable. So we should always think what is sustainable. Take slowly, slow every step, but then do it sincerely. That's what Swami always tells. And so each one can share their whatever they do. Actually, we had a consistency in sadhana, a workshop in the international conference in Sri Lanka. The the tool, the sadhana that we talked about is chanting Gayatri. So Gayatri, anywhere you can chant. So um, in fact, Swami says if you in the discourses when we the Akanda Gayatri time, we put Swami's discourse also. In that clearly, Swami says all you need to do is three times Gayatri morning, three times Gayatri afternoon, and then night three times. So what he says is that it's like you have done something, uh, whatever bad or whatever. So immediately that sin is immediately taken away. So nothing accumulates. So you go on doing that. There's the finally you'll have zero balance, and there's no need for us to come back here. Very beautiful discourse you can hear in the Akanda Gayatri. So like that, we go on doing that, then we automatically become a siddha. We don't need to. It's an automatic process. It won't just people say, "Oh, I can become a siddha." No, it's not a one day that you'll become a siddha. It takes years of practice. That is why those yogis they go on practicing, and then finally. In fact, Sri Ramakrishna says you just uh, you know take 3 days off, completely don't go, and then you cry for God. God will appear. Then our Swami says just 11 seconds, you will appear. So that means even 11 seconds we are not able to concentrate. That tells us that how much shraddha we need, concentration we need to get to that what they are. I mean, to have that concentration to realize God. Any other thoughts on that question? Another thing is steady faith. That's a very important thing. What happens is sometimes I'm doing 10 years, doing sadhana sincerely, everything. Then she says, nothing is happening, sir. Nothing. The moment we say go on, say nothing is happening, then it's not going to happen because you don't have the faith. So while doing sadhana also, you should have the faith. But what I would really say is that just do the sadhana with a liking, and that it is as a happiness by itself, and derive the happiness in doing it rather than thinking that you're going to get something. We don't expect anything and just doing for the sake of doing it and loving it for the sake of, I mean, basically selflessly, that you are not thinking that you want something. That is the best sadhana you can offer to God because you are not expecting anything from God at that point.
Sairam. Um, so what I actually want to say is so even we think that it's not happening what we're asking for. Um, but actually in so many unseen way grace flows. I think once we're open to that, we would never question what I'm asking is not happening. You know, when we're making a left turn, how many times he saved? So just the one little thing. And
Very practical. True.
yeah. And one more thing comes to my mind. As you said, the Gayatri, even your mind drifts in that 11 seconds. Or, you know, you have to do some other duty that moment, but if you're doing it, like I remember, I think from Swami, listening from Swami somewhere or from Hayamaka, like when you're doing dishes, I know your mind is not there all the time when you're doing 10 minutes of dishes, but still they get cleaned.
Yes,
So
it is.
same way, the mind.
Right. You can go to the second question.
The second question is, how can Swami's statement that you are the substance, not the shadow, the divine spark, not the body, transform your relationship to worldly happiness and help you achieve lasting peace? I think it's this one kind of struck me because I think if you read like Wayne Dyer, Eckhart Tolle, one of the things that they say that's very powerful is that we're not really, that we are souls having a human experience. And I think when Swami was talking about that in the letter, that was the thought that really came to mind. And he pretty much said it there too, that, you know, we're not really this body, but I think when we're in this physical existence, I mean, that's just kind of how we function. We identify as, you know, whatever gender we are, what our skin tone is, or what our career is, or what, you know, things like that. But we just have to remember we're all souls, and essentially that soul is what's kind of what unites us all. And Swami said that really beautifully here.
Yeah, the thing is, we hear this in study circles several times. I am not the body. I am not the body. You are the ultimate Brahman. You are the Atma. You are divine love, or you are truth, and we are not the body. The thing is, often the question comes to us because the reality, what we are here, the talking. I cannot forget that Krishna, I myself, is talking, and we cannot. This is all because 24/7 we are just living in the body consciousness. So suddenly drifting to divine consciousness. First of all, how it will be itself is something that is a different plane of existence for us. Suppose a person goes and asks, say, Vasishta Maharishi, sir, you know, the world is full of problems or something he is telling, you know. For the Maharishi, there is no world. And for this person, there is world. And there are problems. So for Swami, always he is happy. Okay, and then so he doesn't even know what is unhappiness means. So when the question arises, they are so beautiful and know our problems. So they come and explain to us in all, they go on telling that, hey, you are not the body, you are not the body. That's all they can say. But again, it comes to us to practice. The question here is, how do we practice, right? Then the answer is in the previous one. We have to do the Shraddha. Go on doing the things, take up some sadhana, do it. The first question already has the answer. If you go on doing it, we don't know what is that plane of existence, what is it, the consciousness. But one beautiful thing here is, even though we feel that body, the body consciousness, when we are going on increasing that sadhana, that shraddha, putting that shraddha and happens, momentarily God gives that knowledge. Uh, At some point, it will happen. The thing is, slowly that time it happens, and it more times it happens without our without we knowing it. The knowledge automatically you will be part of it, because it is not really in a different plane of existence. Basically, it's here only. We ourselves, it's we are Atma, we don't know, we are not realizing it. It automatically happens. So that is why in all the scriptures and everywhere, oh, chant Vishnu Sahasranamam, chant this, chant that, chant Bhagavad Gita, chant Gayatri, all these things we again and again we say that is, once that mind that is actually thinking that I am the body, I am this, taken away, chant the name of the Lord, because the Lord is the embodiment of love, embodiment of truth. He is the divine. Then automatically your mind is actually taken and given to it. And at some point, it automatically feels seeing God everywhere and then seeing God in himself. So it is a very practically only we can experience. So it's a very it's a story there, a simple story. Uh, there's a king who asks, you know, give me liberation right now to a um, to the the guru in the uh, darbar in his thing. So then what happens is he doesn't know how to tell this. No, no, you go, come back tomorrow. You have to do it. Then he's so worried. Oh my God, if I don't do it, he's going to put me into jail or whatever. Then his this guru's granddaughter comes. What? Why are you worried? He said, no, no, no. The guru is the king told me this. I'm so worried. And, oh, this is a simple matter. I can explain. I can explain this matter to him very easily. Then God asked, why? How can you? No, no, no. You don't need to go tomorrow. I will go to the darbar, to the place, and I will. He was afraid. Okay, anyway, she is telling. So the king the next day he sent all the his messengers to bring the guru back to tell him. So instead of that, the grand doctor said, no, no, I am coming for this simple thing and all. My grandpa is not needed. I can take care of it. So she comes there. Then the king was surprised. Why you are here? Then they said, no, no, no. It is a very simple matter. We don't want my my grandfather to come and explain to you. I can explain. Oh, is it okay? But you need to uh, obey me for 5 minutes, whatever I say. In your kingdom, everybody should do that. I said, okay. Then come here, and he calls all the servants, the king, and said, hey, tie up everybody. Then everybody touch. Then one servant is, okay, you tie the king too, and tie me also. So everybody was tied into a pillar. Then his servant said, okay, you go away. When I call, you come back. Then the girl is saying, oh, save me, king. Oh, king, save me right now. Everybody is tired. Save me, this girl is saying. Then nothing is happening. Then the king says, he's laughing. How can I say? Because you made us everybody tired. And you are also tired. How nobody can save you. This is very simple. This is what it is. You are asking my grandfather about release you from and give liberation. He is bound, you are bound, everybody else is bound. How can you get liberation? So there's no way. So a person who's like, only Swami can give that liberation. Who's so the thing is why I'm saying is that the thought of that we are bound is a very big tie. We are all bound by that. So we by chanting the name of the Lord and practicing it, he is unbound, so he can unbind us. Any other sharing, or otherwise we can go to the third question. These letters are big.
Vairagya in Sanskrit means detachment. Why then does Swami say that it is attachment to higher goals?
The higher goal is detachment. So when we want Swami, we have to detach ourselves from the world. We cannot serve two masters. That's what Jesus says. So we can only serve God. So that God is higher goal. So we automatically wants God. Detachment from the world automatically happens. Attachment to God, attachment.
So the Sairam, the other way, I was thinking because the higher goal is the liberation. So that liberation is the detachment.
Any other thoughts? Okay, if not, we can go to the fourth question.
How does serving others become the best way to serve oneself?
We have a lot of people who serve. This is Ram. Harimama, everybody serves. What is the best way to serve oneself? You serve others, it becomes serving yourself. So the thing is, first, we are serving others, and because of that, they are going to benefit. That may be a first initial when we start doing the service. But we slowly realize that even to go and serve, it is us. We have a liking for it. For ourselves, we are doing it, not for somebody else who's going to get benefit. For ourselves, we have to, because we have to be happy first of all. If you're not happy by serving, we won't go there, right? So we are happy in some way. Some in our inside, some egos get satisfied as well. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But it's a better way. It's a better thing. But slowly by doing serving others, if we dive deep into it and really realize forgetting ourselves, we talked about how to forget our body ourselves. By serving again others, we would feel slowly that their pain is my pain, their happiness is my happiness. That is a very important realization to happen. You know, some of the stories like Mother Teresa when she said that, I think, one of the study guide also, we discussed that how when she served how can you serve mother? Actually, in the Eternal Companion, it is there in the December Eternal Companion. The story of Mother Teresa is there. In that, it is in the editorial. It's very nicely talks about how when somebody asks, "Mother, how can you serve this child?" Uh, you know, lepers, and how is it possible that you do? Then I'm not serving the child. I'm serving the baby Jesus. So that is the level of, so it raises to the it raises our consciousness, and she doesn't even feel that separation, that oneness. Then that is actually liberation, once you feel that oneness. So that is another path. Yeah, people need to read that. Is so touching, those stories in the editorial about the saints, the December Eternal Companion. Now we have got the January itself, but any other story anybody wants to share? Chiranjeevi wants to share story.
Yeah, Krishna. See, when you are serving others, right, it's like you're working basically, right? At the end of the day, whatever the things we are engaged, we get some kind of satisfaction, whether it is personal work or professional work. Service is like that too. The happiness you see in others when they get the services. Some of them, most of them, they reciprocate, right? Almost the same way, their happiness. So that automatically creates a happiness that will well up in you.
That's a good point.
When you are really happy, genuinely happy, that is adding good health to you. So at the end of the day, you are the one getting benefit.
Even materialistically, you are getting benefit.
So
Good, good point. I didn't think about that. So there is a return on investment there. Plus, from the spiritual way, also it is very good. The several stories. I mean, TGK Uncle's story is amazing, and Swami told when he was coming to Puttaparthi, the car was met with an accident, thrown into, you know, he himself told me the car like 4 or 5 times rotated, and then somehow nothing happened to him. The car was totally totaled. So then after some, came to Puttaparthi, and Swami was there. Then he was thanking Swami, and Swami said, "No, no, no. Seva saves. You served so much. So before even I say anything, it automatically your bank balance was, there's a lot of balance you had. It came and helped you." So